What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on Pig City Hockey. The 2024 Young Stars Classic is officially over. If you don't know what that is and you missed out, don't worry. We're going to have highlights from that game in this video so you can check it out. But pretty much what it is, it's a prospect showcase for the Winnipeg Jets, the Vancouver Canucks, the Calgary Flames, and the Edmonton Oilers. It's honestly a great tournament, and the Canucks do a great job hosting it out there in Penticton. And the Jets honestly have not had the best showings at these tournaments the last couple of years. Nonetheless, though, it's still a great time to go out and watch the prospects. It's the first real bit of Jets hockey we get back to start off the season, and it's an awesome tournament. Obviously, this was the roster for this year's tournament. Brayden Yager, is a big name on there, obviously just being acquired in the Rutger-McGroarty trade. I was really excited to see him play and mesh in with the core. Obviously, Brad Lambert on the team as well, a guy who we expect to make that team next year. Nikita Chibrikov as well, maybe a guy we could see making the team as well. Colby Barlow, obviously one of our top prospects, to name a few. This is Thomas Milik as well. This tournament was full of a lot of really interesting guys to watch. Dom DiVincenzi's as well, at both of our goaltending prospects. You love to absolutely see that. And honestly, I really think that Brad Lambert and Brayden Yager really shine in this tournament. Among other prospects as well, I really like Kevin He as well. I thought he played great. There was a lot of really, as well as Chibrikov, he played fantastic. But those were the two players that I was most looking forward to see what they had in this tournament, because one, being the newly acquired prospect, and two, the guy closest to making the team, and both these players did not disappoint. Brad Lambert was absolutely incredible in this tournament, really showing that he should and probably will make this team. I think that obviously this is a tournament full of prospects, but he looked like an absolute veteran out there compared to a lot of these guys, and was just so skillful, as well as Nikita Chibrikov as well. Both these two guys, I think, are making the Jets. I think that if Nikita Chibrikov isn't on the third line for game one of this upcoming season, I think that management has failed yet again at assessing talent, because there's no reason why a guy like Mason Appleton or an Alex Iafallo, making the cap hit that they are and the lack of productivity that they bring to the team, should get a guaranteed spot over a guy as hungry as Chibrikov. He's doing everything from assist making to goal scoring, fighting, hitting, everything. He is all over the ice. He's a great presence, and he is so quick as well. So a guy I definitely think will make the team. If he doesn't, what are we doing? We got to get these young guys playing. Brad Lambert as well, a guy that I think we're all super excited to see coming up, had a great tournament. He was just so deadly, like I said, looking like a veteran compared to all these other prospects. Really putting on a show. He was fantastic. And like I said, Brad Lambert, I think legit is going to be the 2C next year for this upcoming season, for the Winnipeg Jets. I think he makes the top 6. I don't see how he doesn't, to be honest. I think the skill that he has, where he is in his game, I think there's no way that he doesn't make this club, unless, obviously, knock on wood, something happens in preseason. But him and Ville Heinola, the two guys that I really think are going to get the most playing time to start the early season coming up. Obviously, Ville Heinola is not in this prospect tournament. We're not going to be talking about him, but still, nonetheless, Brad Lambert, incredible out there, really leading the charge for the Winnipeg Jets. Thomas Milik and Dom DiVincenzi's as well were fantastic. They really show just how good they both are. I can't wait to see that tandem on the Manitoba Moose soon. It's going to be wicked, to say the least. Even though Connor Hellebuck is Connor Hellebuck, he just signed that $80 million contract. So, 7 more years left after this one, I believe it, or no, excuse me, 8 more years, including this one coming up. So he's going to be here for a while, but obviously the backup goaltending spot is one for discussion. And I think as Connor Hellebuck ages, I think the Jets are going to definitely look at a tandem situation more, because I think Hellebuck will be able to stay elite, but obviously not maybe as much with the amount of games played, so definitely need a more serviceable backup than who they've had in years past. Obviously, Laurent Massois has been great, but, we're not talking about him right now. We're talking about the future, and right now, this season alone, the backup goaltending spot is a huge question. I wouldn't be surprised, depending on how, if it's shaky throughout the season, I wouldn't be surprised to see Thomas Milik get a call-up if he is able to play the way that I expect him to for the Manitoba Moose upcoming season, because he is so deadly, and he is just a really damn good goaltender. The fact that the Jets were able to get him, I believe, in the 4th round, I think it was, or 5th round a couple of years ago, an insane snipe by Chevy yet again, looking to be legit goaltender for this club in the near future. And honestly, this whole tournament it was an exciting tournament for the Winnipeg Jets, and if you're a fan of this club, obviously. There's a lot of questions going into this upcoming season. The Jets really didn't do much in the offseason outside of trading Rutger-McGroarty and, I guess signing, a guy like that Colin Miller would be their biggest keep, and that was the guy that was already acquired. So obviously not a lot of groundbreaking news and moves coming this offseason. I think the prospects are what we're going to see make a real impact in the club next season. I think we've been kind of witnessing this development for the last couple of years, and obviously it could have happened earlier, this youth movement. I still stand by that, as a lot of other Jets fans would as well. But nonetheless, I think that it's really going to emerge this season, and I think the Winnipeg Jets are really going to use these prospects that they've been able to develop so carefully in their systems and really incorporate them into the team. And I know that obviously there's some questions with guys already signed, like I already mentioned in Alex Iafallo, Mason Appleton, but when you look at what Chibrikov was able to do last year, he scored in his first NHL game last year against the Vancouver Canucks in the final game of the season, as well as Lambert registering an assist as well in that game. Both of those guys looked great, and I know that game is a throwaway, but they looked great then. Like, they really made an impact in that one game. And I think that these guys are hungry for an opportunity, especially Lambert and Chibrikov. Both these guys, later draft picks with something to prove and a chip on their shoulder. You've seen it in their last couple of seasons, and I think that they're going to make a huge impact on this team. And I really see both those guys making the team. I don't see how they don't, to be honest. The Jets need scoring, they need speed, and that's what all these guys offer on cheap entry-level contracts. It's everything you want as a GM and as an NHL team. You need young players on affordable contracts that can make big impacts so that you can find ways to, find depth that doesn't cost too much. That's the key to building Stanley Cup contended teams and winning teams that we've seen in years past, obviously in the cap era, and the Jets are on that right path. They have these guys that could potentially be game changers for this club come down the stretch, especially in playoff time, and I think that they just have to use them. That's what this tournament showed, in my opinion. I know it's a prospect showcase. I get that. I'm not saying that these guys are, going to be the next Connor McDavid by any means, or putting them on the level of guys already on this club, as in Nikolai Ehlers, Mark Scheifele. I'm not saying that, but the fact of the matter is that I don't think any Jets fan could look at me and say, after what we've seen from these prospects last couple of years, why a guy like Mason Appleton, or even an Alex Iafallo for that matter, at that cap hit should have a guaranteed spot when you have young players that could really make an impact for you, even more than the guys you already have signed. So if I was Chevy, with the Perfetti contract situation up in limbo, I'll have a short on that out soon, because that whole situation is just silly at this point. I think the Jets need to look at offloading some of these contracts, like really, and creating roster spots. Like, you do not need Mason Appleton on this club anymore. I know why they reacquired him. I understand that. I'm not knocking Mason Appleton. I think that he had a great year last year, despite the slump. It was a career year for him. He found some really good chemistry in that third line, but at the end of the day, Brad Lambert's going to make the top six. Top six outside, with Brad Lambert joining it, is pretty much locked up. Where is a Chibrikov going to go? There's no real spots for him, and I definitely think he's going to earn a spot over a guy like that. And with Lambert being probably a lock for the top six, the Jets need to look at creating opportunity. I think this tournament showcased that a ton, and I think a lot of young guys on this team are hungry and ready to make the NHL. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, what you think the Jets should do. Training camp is right around the corner. It's an exciting time. Hockey is back, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait to cover all the stuff Winnipeg Jets related that I can, because you know me, I'm a Jets hockey junkie. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. I'll see you guys in the next one.
It'll all be over. It'll all be over.